We are off to our daily reading exercise from the book The Complete Guide to Fossils and Fossils Collection with the chapter Rhyniophytes and Horsetails. Every day the words are getting really difficult and scientific words. I'm not sure what significance it holds in daily communication, but I just love this book and I'll continue with this until I end this and start something another. Maybe the Sherlock Holmes, which is more expressive and dialogues involved, but that's the next part and present is most important. So let's start without wasting any more of the time. The great advance in plants was vascularization, which consists of a network of tiny vessels, pipes or tubes within the plant. There are two main types: xylem vessel transport water and minerals. Phloem carries sugar-rich sap around the plant as its energy food. Xylem vessels in particular became stronger and stiffer in early plants. This gave rigidity to the stem, enabling these plants to grow taller and stronger. Rhynia. One of the most famous early plants, Rhynia, is named after the village of Rhynie in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. This area was once marshy boggy, probably with hot springs that gushed water rich in silica minerals. These conditions have preserved various organisms include Rhynia and the insect-like creature Rhynelia in amazing details in rock known as Rhyniophytes. Rhynia had horizontal growths or rhizomal axis bearing hair-like fringes which probably had stabilizing and water-absorbing functions, but were not true roots. The horizontal growths bent to form upright, gradually tapering leafless stems or aerial axis. These branch successively in a V-like pattern, each with a spore capsule at its tip. In the vascular system, each micropipe is made from a series of individual tube-shaped cells attached end-to-end with their adjoining walls degenerated to leave a gap, like a jointed series of short lengths of hosepipe. In Rhynia, the xylem vessels were clustered in the center, with phloem vessels around, forming a vascular bundle. Similar arrangements are seen in vascular bundles in many other plants, including flowers and trees living today. The vascular bundles branch off the stem and into the leaves, forming the thickened leaf veins. Stronger stems. As plants became taller in their evolutionary race to outshake their competitors and receive their full coat of sunlight, their stems not only needed greater width, but also increased stiffness or rigidity. This is achieved by laying down woody fibers, usually of the substance lignin, as seen in today's bushes, shrubs, and trees. In a cut tree trunk or large branch, the annual growth ring shows where each season set of new vessels develops. As more rings are added on the outside, the inner walls become more fibrous and stiff, as sapwood. The oldest rings towards the center of the trunk, forming the heart, would play almost no role in transporting water, minerals, and sap. Calamites. During the Carboniferous period, some 300 million years ago, vast forests of giant tree-like plants thrived in the warm, damp swamps and marshes that covered much of the land at this time. One of these early giants was Calamites, which could grow to reach heights of 30 meters. It was a member of the group called Horsetails scourging rushes, sphinocids or sphinophytes. These are still seen today, although they are much smaller in stature, such as Equisetum, the common horsetails, which springs up from freshly disturbed soil, such as dug garden. The general form of horsetails is a stiff central stem or trunk with whorls of obstinate leaves at regular intervals. Calamites were successful worldwide, particularly along the banks of rivers, where it was often buried by the shifting sands even as it continued to grow. This adaptation to its environment actually helped to support the plant, preventing it from falling over during times of local flooding. Calamites formed spore cones, and much like the earliest plants, released spore from these as its method of reproduction. In addition, it also had an underground system of runner-like rhizomes that could produce new individuals asexually, as in ferns such as bracken today, to colonize new environments rapidly. The names Annularia and stereophylites are both applied to the leaves of calamites and similar sphenopsids. So that's all from the reading exercise today. There you go.